Hi friends, welcome to the Daily Current Affairs by Ekam IAS. So today on 19th May 2019, our topics are Central Drugs Standard Control Organization, that is CDSCO, then Model Code of Conduct, International Telecommunication Union, then Great Indian Hornbill, and in map aided program we will be dealing with the third part of important lakes in India and prelims question revision series. So first topic, that is Central Drug Standard Control Organization. So the news is that this CDSCO, actually the CDSCO issues a device alert on 3 Medtronic pacemakers after this US FDA for all the issues related to their batteries. So that is the news. So actually, what is a pacemaker? A pacemaker, we know that it is an essential device that is used by the patients if their heartbeat is too slow. Or we can also say that it is also used in the treatment of heart failure to help their heart beat normally. Okay, so that is the main function of this pacemaker. So talking about this Central Drug Standard Control Organization, we know that it is the national regulatory body for Indian pharmaceuticals and medical devices. Okay, so it is the Central Drug Authority for the discharging of functions that are assigned to the central government under the Drugs and Cosmetics Act of 1940. So it comes under the Directorate General of Health Services, that is in the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So the thing is that within this CDSCO, there will be a DCGI, that is Drug Controller General of India. So he is the one who regulates the pharmaceutical and medical devices. Okay, and this DCGI, it is advised by two bodies, that is DTAB and DCC. DTAB, it stands for Drug Technical Advisory Board, and this DCC, it stands for the Drug Consultative Committee. So these two bodies, they will give advices. Okay, so this DCGI, he will be advised by this DTAB and DCC. Okay, then under this Drugs and Cosmetic Act, this CDSCO, it is responsible for various functions. So the main functions are the coordination of the activities of State Drug Control Organization to bring about the uniformity in enforcement of the Drug and Cosmetics Act. And some of its other functions are certain approval of drugs, then the conduct of clinical trials, then we can say that laying down the certain standards of drugs. Then they also regulate control over the quality of imported drugs in the country. And we have already discussed that the meetings of this DCC and this DTAB, they will be also coordinated by this CDSCO, and its other responsibilities are like approval of certain licenses as the Central License Approving Authority, and one of its main functions is, along with all the state regulators, it is jointly responsible for the grant of license for certain, we can say that a specialized category called the critical drugs. So in order to get license, the CDSCO, they should give the approval for getting license for this critical drugs. So this critical drugs, they include blood and blood products, that is I will give an example, that is IV fluids, then certain types of vaccines, they are examples for this critical drugs. So these are the main functions, or these are the main responsibilities of this CDSCO. Clear? Then our second topic, that is Model Code of Conduct. So the news is that the Chief Election Commission, that is the present Chief Election Commissioner, it is the Sunil Arora. Actually, he denied any controversy in the internal functioning of Election Commission over the handling of this Model Code of Conduct. Okay, so actually, what is this Model Code of Conduct? We can say that it refers to a set of certain set of norms which are laid down by the Election Commission of India, and actually it will spells out the do's and don'ts for the election. Okay, that you have to remember. So, it is a certain norms which are laid down by the Election Commission of India, and it will spell out the do's and don'ts for the election. And it is done with the consensus of all political parties, and we know that it is not a statutory body, that is, they are not legally binding. So, it is not a statutory body, and all the political parties, then the candidates and polling agents, they are expected to observe this model code of conduct. Okay. So, actually this model code of conduct, it was introduced in the 1960 assembly election in Kerala. Okay. And this model code of conduct, it has evolved over the years, and they include certain behavior norms for the party in power, and they also include certain behavior norms for the public servants who report to it. Okay, so it was first introduced in the 1916 assembly elections in India. And this model code of conduct, it comes into force on the announcement of the poll schedule. Okay, and you have to remember that it will remains operational till the process it is concluded as provided in the notification, and it is also responsible, or we can say that it is also applicable to a caretaker government on the premature dissolution of a state assembly. So, that you have to remember, it is also applicable to a caretaker government on situations of premature dissolution of a state assembly. And let us see how is it enforced. So, we know that the Election Commission, it ensures that the ruling parties at the center and in the state, they adhere to this model code of conduct as a part of its mandate to conduct free and fair election in the country under Article 324 of the Constitution. Okay, we know that. So, anyone or any person can report the violation of the Election Commission, or he can approach a court. And the Election Commission, he has devised several mechanisms to take note of the offences, and the latest one is the introduction of C-Vigil app. Okay, so by the introduction of the C-Vigil mobile app, through which audio-visual evidence of the malpractice, they can be also even be reported. Okay, so you have to remember the C-Vigil mobile app. Okay. Then, here I will mention some of the key malpractices. So, there are many, I will mention some of them. That is, I will explain what are the key main malpractices. So, any activity that is creating a mutual hatred or dislike between different castes or communities, or the religious or linguistic, they can be considered as a corrupt practice under the Representation of the People Act. And even bribery, giving bribery to the voters is both a corrupt practice, and it is also an electoral offence or electoral violence under the Act. It is, I think it is section 171B of the IPC. Okay, so it's a corrupt practice and also an electoral offence. And also serving or even distributing liquor on the election day and during the 48 hours preceding it is an electoral offence. Okay. And also holding public meeting during the 48-hour period ending with the hour fixed for the closing of the poll. It is also an offence. So, these are some of the key malpractices. Clear. And our next topic, that is International Telecommunication Union. So, the news is that the World Telecommunication and Information Society Day, it is being observed across the globe. So, I will explain what the main purpose of observing this day. It is to raise or to create an awareness of the possibilities that the use of this internet and other information and communication technology can bring to the society and economy, and as well as ways to bridge the digital divide. So, its main purpose is to raise an awareness. Okay. And this year the theme is bridging the standardization gap. That is the theme for this year. So, the 17th May, it also marks the anniversary of the signing of first International Telegraph Convention and the creation of the International Telecommunication Union in 1969. Okay, so you have to remember the date 17th May. Then, this International Telecommunication Union, actually it is the United Nations Specialized Agency for Information and Communication Technology. And it is headquartered in Geneva, that is in Switzerland. Actually, it's an organization that is based on a public-private partnership, and it is founded on the principle of international cooperation between the government, that is means the member state, and the private sector. This private sector, it includes the sector members, then even the associates and the academia. Okay. And this ITU, it is a premier global forum through which the parties, they work towards the consensus on a wide range of issues that are affecting the future direction of this ICT industry. So, it is a premier global forum. And this ITU, it has got 193 countries as its member, and also 800 private sector entities and academic institutions. So, 193 countries are its members. Okay, and some of its major functions include allocate global radio spectrum and satellite orbit, then strive to improve access to ICTs to unserved communities worldwide. These are some of its major functions. Okay, and coming to our next topic, there is Great Indian Hornbill. So, actually a study was carried out in the Pakke Tiger Reserve, that is, it is located in Arunachal Pradesh, and they noted that the hornbills, they are one among the large sized frugivores, and they also found out that they are the top seed dispersers. Okay, that is the news. So, we know that the Great Indian Hornbill, it is one of the larger member belonging to this hornbill family, and they are distributed throughout the Indian subcontinent and in the Southeast Asia. The main thing is that this bird, it is used for many of the tribal cultures and rituals due to its unique size and unique color. Okay, so this Great Indian Hornbill, it is long lived and it is living for nearly 50 years. And another thing is that it is, even though it is frugivorous, it also preys on these mammals, reptiles and other birds, etc. So, the major threat faced by this Great Indian Hornbill is that habitat loss and hunting. The reason is that these tribal people, they usually hunt them for making their headgears and also for some of the rituals. Okay, that is these two are the main reasons, that is hunting, then habitat loss. These are the main threats faced by this Great Indian Hornbill, and their conservation status, they are listed in the Appendix 1 of CITES, and it is evaluated as the vulnerable on the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species. Okay, so you have to remember it comes under the vulnerable status on the IUCN Red List, and it is listed in the Appendix 1 of CITES. Clear? Here you can see the geographical range of Great Indian Hornbill. Okay. Then, and today in Map Aided program, we will be dealing with the third part of important lakes in India, and they are Pagong Lake. So, it is located in Ladakh, that is between the India and China, and it is located near the Changla Pass. And next lake, it is Somoruri Lake. Actually, it is the largest high altitude lake that is located in Ladakh. And the thing is that the tourists, they are not allowed to have a boating in this lake. Next is the Chandra Lake. It is actually a high altitude lake, and it is located in the Lahore and Spiti districts of Himachal Pradesh near the Kunsam Pass. And here the Chandra river, that is a major tributary of Chenab river. It originates from this Chandra Tal. And another important thing is that it is declared as a wetland under the Ramsar Convention. And about Suraj Tal, actually it is located below the Barlach Pass at Lahore and Spiti districts of Himachal. And the thing is that they remain frozen during the greater part of the year. Okay, the next one, that is Roopkund. Actually, it is a mystery lake of Uttarakhand, and it is also known as skeleton lakes because so many skeletons are being found in this shallow lake. So, it is also known as skeleton lake. Next is the Sukhana lake. This is located in Chandigarh. Then next one is Satal. Actually, it's a quiet and calm group of 7 pristine lakes in the lower Himalayan range, and it is situated in the Uttarakhand. Okay, these are the other section of lakes. So here you can see all the lakes. Pagong, Sumorari, Chandratal, Surajtal, all lakes are marked here. Okay. And today in PRELIMS question revision series, our question is, consider the following statement. First one, the Earth's magnetic field, it has reversed every few 100,000 years. Second statement, when the Earth was created more than 4,000 million years ago, there was 54% oxygen and no carbon dioxide. Then third statement, when living organisms originated, they modified the early atmosphere of the Earth. So, which of the following statements given above is or are correct? Options A, 1 only, B, 2 and 3 only, C, 1 and 3 only, and D, 1, 2 and 3. So, let us take the first statement. The Earth's magnetic field, it has reversed every few 100,000 years. Actually, we know that this Earth's magnetic field, it has flipped its polarity many times over the millennia. Okay, that actually this magnetic reversal, actually it is a rule and it is not the exception. And this Earth, we can say that it has settled in the last 20 million years into a pattern of magnetic pole reversal about every 2 lakh to 3 lakh years. Okay, so the first statement, it is obviously correct. And coming to our second statement, that is, when the Earth was created more than 4,000 million years ago, there was 54% oxygen and no carbon dioxide. Actually, the statement 2, it's a wrong statement. I'll say why. Because when we believe that the Earth, it was formed 4.6 billion years ago. So, at that time, the Earth, it had no atmosphere. Okay. So, the thing is that when the Earth cools, the atmosphere is formed mainly from the gases that have come out from the volcano. Okay. And these gases, it include mainly hydrogen sulfide, methane, etc. or up to 10 to 200 times as much carbon dioxide as today's atmosphere. Okay. So, it's not oxygen that is evolved, that is the, so it's, the statement says that 54% oxygen and no carbon dioxide. Actually, it's a wrong statement. Okay. Then coming to third statement, when living organisms originated, they modified the early atmosphere of the Earth. Actually, it's a correct statement. Why? Because these living organisms, we know that it includes plants, microbes, etc. So, when the life started to have a major impact on this environment, once the photosynthetic organisms evolved. Okay, so the thing is that while the photosynthetic life reduced the carbon dioxide of the atmosphere, they started to produce oxygen. Okay, so so we can say that when living beings are originated, they modify the atmosphere. Okay, so the statement 3, it is also correct. So our answer is C. C means 1 and 3 only. Okay. So that's all for today's session. You can download the material from the link given below. Thank you for listening.